My name is Andy Kuhar. I am currently the Assistant Director for the Learning and Collaborative Environments team, and I've currently been here for just over 25 years. Classroom Services is the support team that supports all our faculty, staff, and students and the technology that they use in our classrooms. We do weekly maintenance in the classrooms to keep everything running, make sure that everything works, so we can be proactive. We don't have to wait on instructors to call us and let us know that something broke. We show up to help instructors learn how to use the equipment, and we also help them integrate other technologies into their classrooms that they might be looking to use. We are the escalation point for anything that happens in a classroom. We tell people and we advertise that you can contact us for anything. We currently have posters in the classrooms that say technology, HVAC, wildlife. I mean, I've chased a rabbit out of a room, I've gotten a squirrel out of a room, I've gotten a cat out of a classroom one time, and 2 years ago, I literally caught a bat hanging from the ceiling grid in a classroom with a t-shirt. When I first started, there were only 7 rooms on campus that had video projectors in them. We now have every single classroom on campus that has a video projector, a computer, an AV system. So that was a big change. It took years in the making. But when I started here, I was hired as a projectionist. We were still using 35 millimeter projectors, 16 millimeter projectors, and I would literally go to projection booths and show either films or slideshows for instructors. I mean, the evolution of going from 7 rooms to 360 rooms that have AV and computers in them, I think that was a big step for our group in general. Also, when I started, I had 6, maybe 8 students that worked under me when I managed the helpline. We currently have anywhere between 60 and 70 students that we use to support the classrooms. We moved to a model where we have satellite locations across campus that we dispatch student technicians from, and they are able to get to classrooms much faster that way. And just with the amount of technology that we have now, obviously there's a higher need for support. It's no longer a handful of people walking around campus changing overhead light bulbs like it was 20 years ago. One of the biggest successes, I believe, is probably our maintenance program that we started about 10 years ago. We put that together to get ahead of instructors having problems in classrooms, and we now check every single classroom on campus at least once a week, sometimes more if we're able to get to them. So we test everything, all the inputs, and make sure that everything's working, and then report it up to our AV team if there's a problem. So the plan was to get ahead of these issues before instructors were able to report them. And after the first, I believe it was 4 years, we had reduced instructor-driven incidents by almost 50%. It was like 49.4%. Total for a spring term, just incidents, we had slightly over 1,400, which is actually, that's pretty good, that's low. But again, that includes maintenance that we find. So that's why we lean really heavily on the student staff. So all the student staffing budget came from what was formerly student computing centers. So when we've started getting such low usage with the computer labs that we were staffing, everybody started, buying their own devices, and there wasn't need for all this public computing that we were providing. We made that shift. Chris Harshfield, who works with me, and Amy Spears and Sylvia Rossi put together a pretty incredible Carmen course. There's modules with quizzes and everything that they have to go through, so they get the basic understanding of what we're asking them to do in a classroom. Because it's really difficult to train that many students. So once they go through the Carmen course and pass all their quizzes, then what we start doing is setting them out with our veteran students who've got the experience, who have been around for a little while, and can help guide them a little bit. So if you look at a minute of class time in one of our lecture halls with 700 students in it, that is very expensive. Like, that is a lot of lost money in class time, and that adds up. So students are literally losing money by sitting there when their instructor's waiting for us to show up. Something isn't working, they're canceling classes. We've had plenty of instructors call us and say, this wasn't working, so I canceled class. So you can do the math. I mean, it really adds up pretty quickly when you have a lot of people in the classroom. You're paying to be here. You expect to go through your class. So if something's not working, that's on us.